Hi Abhijit, good morning.
Good morning, Harshali.
Let me welcome everyone to this live event that we are having today. We have with us Abhijit Shah, our AVP delivery at Nitor Infotech, who is going to speak about product engineering mindset. So, before taking much time of yours, let me hand over the screen to you, Abhijit. Wish you all
Sure.
the best.
Thank you, Harshali. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening. First of all, I would like to have a warm welcome to all of you, and thanks for joining the live event of Nitor Infotech, where I will be talking about my experiences in driving business growth using the product engineering mindset. So, what is product engineering mindset? It is a thought process, it is a mindset that we have been cultivating in Nitor. And this session will talk about the mindset, how we have to go through the different constituents of the mindset. And then the session will continue for 30 minutes, and then there will be 15 minutes of Q&A session. So product engineering mindset acts as a catalyst for driving business growth. It's not the business growth of the Nitor as a company, but it's the business growth of the customer. In turn, the business growth of Nitor Infotech as a company. So we will be using real life examples that we practice at Netor for product engineering mindset. Before we delve into the details of the product engineering mindset, I will introduce quickly Netor Infotech. Netor Infotech is a digital enterprise which offers world-class solutions and product engineering services. And the services and solutions are offered for ISVs, that are independent software vendors, enterprises, as well as tech enterprises, who are our customers across the globe. I work as Associate Vice President in Project and Delivery. I grew up as a technology person, and today I'm heading a delivery unit. So, what we have been doing in terms of product mindset, product engineering mindset, this slide talks about what we have been doing, recapitulates it. So, there are three blogs presented till now. They are all on Netor Infotech's blog site, as well as the blogs are the links are here. So, the first blog talks about the concept of product engineering mindset. The second blog talks about the five-fold process for the layout of customer satisfaction. Just this week, I released one more blog about empathy, which is the secret ingredient to the customer satisfaction, confidence, and growth. I will be talking about this in this session. Also, we have a podcast which summarizes all of this in terms of product engineering mindset, how and what are aspects of it. This is the LinkedIn Live, which is live currently. And then we have one more blog and one more podcast coming up. That is the uh, Netor's product engineering mindset concept and the uh, execution of part of it. So today in this business driving business growth using product engineering mindset, we will be talking about what is product engineering mindset. Throughout the session, I will be talking about the core concepts that are needed for cultivating product engineering mindset, living by it, and keeping on upgrading yourself. So, what are the constituents of the product engineering mindset? First is engineering management. So, it is all about leading from the front. In Netor Infotech, we say that no one is a project manager, everyone is an engineering manager. I will go into details of the engineering management in that constituent section. Then, customer empathy. All of us know Apple. Why we like Apple products is they think of why and not how and what part of it. So why, once we know why, how and what comes easily to us. So the empathy section will talk about how we think about the customer, think like customer, and so on and so forth. Third is engineering reviews. So early feedback, market corrections is a generalized trend in software development which is needed. So this will be done in the reviews section. Introspection. So I will quote Aristotle here. Aristotle says, knowing yourself is beginning of the wisdom. So it's not only knowing yourself, it's about knowing yourself, improving yourself, and increasing the wisdom. That is what is the fourth constituent of product engineering mindset, which is introspection. It is a continuous process of upgrading, certifying, mentoring, and it continues. The cycle continues. This is the agenda that we'll be covering. So let us delve into the details of product engineering mindset. Before that, first, what is the goal of any business in this world? Be it a brick and mortar shop, be it a software outsourced software development shop like ours. Customer satisfaction is the primary goal of any business. Along with customer satisfaction, what is needed is the bottom line, is the continued growth, continued value delivered to the customer. And how do we deliver value to the customer is not by telling what is only told, it is by improvising, by introspecting, by improving, and by thinking not what is told, but thinking out of the box, thinking holistically, and so on and so forth. So to achieve goal of any business, customer satisfaction, customer delivery, in improved delivery is the key, and that is what will be achieved by product engineering management, and that has been achieved over the last 16 years in Network Infotech. So, product engineering mindset is a powerful concoction of two concepts. One is product mindset. What is product mindset? Is that continuously delivering value by thinking of bigger picture, thinking of product, thinking uh, how and why will the person or the end user use the product. So, thinking in that thought process, continuously elevating your thoughts is product mindset. What is engineering mindset? We all as engineers are innovative. We take risks. Taking risks is a part of engineering management. Any problem will be looked as a seemingly complex problem at the start, and that is where engineers come in picture. 10 years ago, we did not even think that we will have payments done through mobile. So today we can. So solving seemingly complex problems through engineering mindset, which seem complex at the start, but as and when the the complexity unfolds, it becomes easy. So that is the engineering mindset. Product engineering mindset is a powerful concoction of both of this, product mindset and the engineering mindset, and it is to deliver thought process, deliver innovation. There is a lot of adventure, and finally excellence. So this is the concept of product engineering mindset, which we have been cultivating in Netor. Now, before we go into the details of each of the constituents of project engineering mindset, I will be talking about the core concepts that are needed for cultivating this mindset. So, as a software engineer, everyone has to come out of the shell of being a programmer. What is programming? Programming is a personal activity. A person is told that this is the input parameter to a method, this is the output, go and write the logic for it. That's all that a programmer can do. But what a software engineer will think and will have a thought process is that he will think of other product engineering aspects, like the functional aspects. Is it tying to the requirements of the project? Is it tying to the other aspects, other integration aspects? If a UI developer is there, then if he should be thinking of the integration with the backend, with the deployment aspects, for the infrastructure aspect, DevOps, and so on and so forth. Also, in software engineering, it is always about thinking of why aspect of it. Why I have to develop this? Why is this needed in this particular product? Once we start thinking of why, then we start thinking of how and what. So that is the concept of software engineering, which is much bigger than a of a programming. So as I said, good code is like a good joke. So anyone who is reading the code should be able to understand what is written, expand it, extend it, reuse it, which is the need of time, reusability. Also, the constant thought process in terms of engineering should be to automate everything and anything. It can be deployment, it can be infrastructure, it can be building, it can be anything. It can whatever needs to be automated has to be automated, and this is a continuous process which is there in as part of first constituent of our product engineering mindset, which is known as engineering management. So in Netor Infotech, we do not have anyone who is just a project manager. We all have everyone who is engineering manager. In terms of engineering manager, what it means is that leading from front, leading like any mentor in a game, or any coach in a game, he has to lead from the front. So engineering management is always having continuous thought process. If the cause of the customer is met, are we delivering what the customer wants, is the core constituent of engineering management. So for that, what is needed and what is getting done in engineering management is that the person who is leading from the front navigates the requirements, navigates the delivery from a 30,000 feet view to understand what is expectation, what are the requirements, are they getting translated into the deliverables that are giving done to the customers. And while doing that, if needed, the person can go and have a dipstick review, understand any particular aspect, and see where the value needs to be improved to be delivered. For that, deep dive reviews are needed. And so to do that, what is needed is seeing the engineering demos. So seeing the engineering demos is that the deliverable which is given to the customer has to be complete in terms of functionality. Not it is that it works for me on my desk, or it is only the UI component. It has to be integrated with the ecosystem. It has to be functionally complete and running. Also, if needed, then the person has to get clarifications from the customer as and when needed for any questions, proactive questions, and coming up not at the last time, proactive. Then it is all about tracking the effectiveness. It is all about that. Is it only status? Is it that something which is given in Jira that so many user stories are complete? No, it is not about status. It is about effectiveness. So if a person who is leading the project is thinking about the effectiveness, the output, the value, the performance, the scalability, the deployment, all of the aspects in terms of effectiveness, that is what gives the confidence to customer, continued confidence to the customer. What we call it, or what I call it, it is like thinking 4 steps ahead. Like in a game of a chess or anywhere, we have a thought leadership game. We think 4 steps ahead. We don't think only 1 step ahead. And this all happens in my past experience. I have seen that when we are working across the domains, across the customers, across cloud, across infrastructures, technologies, there are a lot of experiences which are learned, and that experiences have to be cross applied for the betterment of the output, for and keep on continuing that. That is what is applying of engineering mindset, in which there can be in a engineering mindset shown in technology, domain, process, communication, proactiveness, anything and everything. And it is all about elevating ourselves in terms of the value delivered to the customer. Next, before we go to the next constituent, which is very important, is empathy. So before we that, these are the core components which are important for empathy. Behavior is something that we can see. Behavior, everyone has some core behavior skills, and traits are something which are collaboration of all of the behaviors. So all of these behaviors that I have listed down, for example, procrastination. Mr. Mahatma Gandhi also said, to do what we fear is the first step to success. So what we in Netor Infotech, or this concept tells that we have to have all of these human behaviors in terms of interaction within the organization, with the customers, with all of the stakeholders, be it being disciplined, be it being predictable. Predictability is most important for any of the deliverables. If there are any issues, then it has to be proactively informed. It has to be having clarity of thoughts in terms of what type of issues are there, how are we going to solve the problem, by having out of the box thinking, not procrastinating about the same. And all of that is using an outcome orientation approach, improvising, planning, replanning as and when needed. So then let us go to empathy. So as I mentioned, it is all about why, thinking of why and not how. It is all about cognitive empathy. It is that once we start thinking, how a customer starts thinking, our a number of directions and dimensions of thought process increases. We start thinking in multiple directions, and it has an evolution. So we keep on thinking if the customer is also how the customer thinks, and that is what is needed, and it does not need significant efforts, but the result of all of empathy is the value driven to the customer. Now, there are two type of customers. First is the immediate customers whom we are working with. There may be the software houses, and then the end customers who will be uh, any user who will be using the systems. So we should not stop at thinking of our immediate customers. Instead of that, we should also think of why anyone will use this product. Why will me, if I put myself in the shoes of that person, will I use the product? Is it intuitive enough? Is it having the user experience that is scalable? It can be used easily, or it needs modification. And if it needs modification, giving proactive suggestions, inputs to the customers, it may or may not be accepted is a different thing, but our thought process matures. So having the thought process of immediate customers, the end customers, going into the shoes of them, thinking as they think. And most important thing is that when we are thinking about that, we have to keep ourselves out of the equation. If we keep ourselves out of the problem or the statement, it will give us an unbiased and a third party view, which gives a different perspective. So this empathy gives lot of outcome orientation, lot of confidence to the customer, and the end result is that the customer starts believing more. There is less micromanagement, and there is less uh, discussion which is needed in terms of the scrum meetings or the requirement clarifications and so on and so forth. So that gives a lot of value in terms of the deliverables. It is quick deliverable. It gives more without defect issues or any defects, and it is much more than what the customer will expect at times. Then, before we go into the next section of engineering reviews, so I will be talking about things that uh, what we follow in Net or Infotech and what I have been following, that there are many problems. There will always be challenges. There will always be problems, and then the person who is working on the project has to be one who finds solutions. Problems are there. Finding solutions is the key, and it's not to be told. It has to be coming out of our thoughts. And while doing that, speed, quality, and agility are not mutually exclusive. So that is what we have. I have been experiencing that if we have great thought process, we have great temperament, we can achieve quality with agility and speed. So say that said, let us move to the next constituent of uh, product engineering mindset, which is known as engineering reviews. I will set the context here. So whoever we are working with, at the end of the day, there is a human touch there, there is an organization there is a uh, ecosystem there, which has its own constraints, which has its own set of challenges, set of requirements, set of expectations, everything. So if they are understood using the previous two constituents, that is the empathy as well as the engineering management, then the engineering reviews come in picture, where we have to continuously course correct. We have to continuously check if the value which is delivered is what the customer is expecting. For that, we have a core concept of Netor known as research as a service. So what does this mean? Research as a service means there is a problem statement. So there can be multiple technology choices, there can be multiple cloud choices, there can be multiple infrastructure, deployment, architecture choices. So what is the best in that particular situation has to be judged, has to be tried out, and then proactively told to customer. That is what we do in Net or Infotech, named as research as a service. That is what we call it as RAAS. Now we tie research as a service with empathy, which we talked in the previous section. It will create innovation. Because in terms of research, we can think only of technology aspect. If we tie the output orientation, if we tie the requirements of the customer, the the problem statement, then it becomes creating innovation. And in today's world, market changes, technology changes, everything changes. So we have to adapt to not only our equation, to the customer's equation, and that is the third constituent. Now, what does early feedback mean? That if we are wanting to buy a Tesla, it's okay that we wait for a year or whatever time it may be, and it comes because the product is in that industry. In software industry, there has to be continuous course correction, continuous feedback, continuous early feedback. So, what does that mean? At the end of every sprint or at the end of any milestone or deliverable, so that deliverable has to be given to the customer to try out. They can try it with their end customers. But the deliverable has to be tangible output. It should not be just this is a UI, this is just a backend, it is not deployed on the environment which is near real environment. All of that has to be there, that the deliverable has to be complete, functionally complete. There has to be no dummy data there. Everything has to be real, no stubs, data coming and flowing, all the integration aspects considered. That deliverables, if we hand over to customer periodically, we get early feedback from the system, from the end customers, and that way we can course correct. This is a value that can be delivered if we think three steps ahead. Like I mentioned earlier, that thinking, it's not that only one constituent has to be thought at one time. All of these constituents have to coexist to deliver the product engineering mindset. Now, there is something known as MVP approach. Everyone wants an early release to the system, try to understand how the system behaves, and as and when the requirement, or there are technology requirements, there are some infrastructure requirements, there are few uh, logistics related requirements, they keep on evolving. So this MVP approach keeps on improving, and that is what they call it as the onion architecture. It keeps on evolving. So this early feedback, innovation, research as a service is all constituting the engineering reviews, which is the early feedback. This is the fourth constituent, which is introspection. So again, I will say Aristotle again, knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. In every technology evolves. I will give my example. When I started 22 years back, I was an embedded C++ developer. I used to code on embedded Linux hardware. Now today, if I want to see if I can get a job of software development in embedded C++ Linux, I will not get many jobs. So that is how it happens. And I'm talking of 22 years. Now the technology evolves every 6 months. New frameworks come up, newer technology comes up, newer type of coding paradigm comes up, newer type of architecture, cloud. So recently, everyone is moving to cloud. So when we are moving to cloud, the person has to upgrade. Everyone who is working on the deliverables has to know what is cloud computing, what is serverless, what is containerization, what is DevOps, what is CI/CD, and why is this all needed? See, at the end of the day, when we are moving to cloud, we are moving to the serverless architecture. What is the benefit to the customer? The customer gets the benefit in bottom line, because pay as you go model, infrastructure is used as much as needed. Containerization gives lot of segregation of concerns, and so on and so forth. All of these architectural concerns have to be thought through, and all of this comes if we keep on upgrading yourself, if we keep on uh, constantly certifying. So I will tell you first that in Network Infotech we have a culture of learning and development. We have um, we have a methodology by which we keep on upgrading, upskilling everyone in terms of technology, in terms of domain, in terms of architecture. All of this is needed. So and for that, sometimes it has to happen that something has to be unlearned, because the newer technology expects that something has to be unlearned, something has to be learned which is new, and something has to be relearned. By relearning, what I mean is that as we go to any universities, we need to have the certifications, or the proof is that we have passed the whatever course we have. So assessments is the most crucial thing, and assessments have to be done periodically. the person has to be assessed and the person has to improvise in that. So there are many third party assessments which can be done for technology, for architecture, for infrastructure, everything. So that needs to be a part of this particular constituents, assessments, upgrading, unlearning, relearning. Along with that, there is one important aspect which is known as mentoring. So, as it is rightly said, if a person wants to teach anyone, first of all, he needs to understand the concepts. He needs to be master himself, then only he can mentor, because that is what is needed. So, if we this talks about that mentoring juniors, it will, when we are sharing the information with our juniors, it only improves our knowledge and perspective. It only, because we get more clarity as the thought process evolves, we start getting more clarity, and that improves, and it gives a different perspective, and that can be applied while doing the delivery to the customers. And it's my personal experience that juniors today, or always, juniors can amaze you in terms of their amazing capability of development, amazing capability of thought process, thinking, uh, speed of execution. Everything is improvising day by day. They are also humans are also evolving. So when we are making someone successful, as it is rightly said that leadership is all about making others successful. So when we make juniors successful in this journey, we get that satisfaction along with the growth, the organic growth which is there. So all of this coming together, uh, this constituent is not working singly. It has to be tied with other components, other constituents, be it engineering management, be it empathy, be it the engineering reviews, constant feedback loop, and so on and so forth. So if we keep on introspecting along with the engineering reviews, along with the empathy, and along with the periodic feedback from customer, that all delivers the value to the customer which is needed by the, which is the output which is needed. So summing it all up, we all are used to doing RCA, root cause analysis. In root cause analysis, there is a good term known as fishbone diagram or Ishikawa analysis, in which we have multiple causes which causes the effect. So if we want to summarize what we all discussed, product engineering mindset is the cause and value addition is the outcome. As we all discussed about all the four uh, components, constituents, value addition has to happen when you start thinking as the customer does, when you start empathizing with the system. Continued customer confidence and comfort. Comfort is much more important than confidence. Once we have comfort, then everything comes in lies in place. And if we have product engineering mindset, we deliver what is not only told by customer. There is a difference that something has to be told, and there is something known as assumed understanding. When we start having the assumed understanding of the customer, we deliver what is not just told. We grow up the value chain. We start thinking of bigger aspects. Customer starts thinking, if we grow our customers, the customers start thinking about the bigger aspect because they don't have to worry about this particular aspect. So we go up the value chain. And that is what Network Infotech has been practicing to grow the business in terms of value addition. Now, I have put it in a software method analogy here. So value addition culture is a method which takes as an input the product engineering mindset. Now, what is the output of that? The output which is delivered, derived out of this is value. And how it happens, if you keep the customer at the core, customer start thinking as the customer does. As at our home also we have our own our own ecosystem where we start thinking at other as other person in our families. Similarly, we have to start thinking as the customer done. Then you don't need any inputs or many inputs. You come up with proactive suggestions. They may or may not be accepted based on the case to case basis, but we deliver what is value and not what is just told. This is the key takeaway I would like to say out of this product engineering mindset. This is the link of the podcast. This will be shared, and this, please go ahead and listen to this podcast. It talks about the same concepts of product engineering mindset. And when we had that podcast, we had a couple of questions which were asked, and all of these questions I have tried to answer in this particular session. That being, what are the advantages of developing a product engineering mindset? What is leader's role? Lead by principle. How do customer benefit? Is developing product engineering mindset a continuous process? Yes. And what are the incremental steps? All of the four constituents that we talk about. Okay. So that said, that brings to the end of my session of what I wanted to explain as product engineering mindset, how it is used, and how we have given the continued business growth to the customers and in turn to Netor Infotech. I'll pause myself and I will want to answer any questions, if any. Okay, there is a question. Gaurav Rathod, who is the Senior Director Technology at Netor Infotech. How do we scale this mindset of already implemented? How do we scale? So, Gaurav, interesting question and very valid question. This mindset has to be improvised daily. It has to be improvised in your actions, in the deeds the person is doing in terms of mindset. And as it is rightly said, human brain has no boundaries. Like where this is not a technology. This is a thought process. This is a thought innovation. So it will be improvised day by day, and there is no end to it. So that is what I would say, that we have the avenue of continuous scaling it. Then the next is Pooja. Can you share some tips on being proactive? Okay, very good. So proactiveness is a behavioral trait. Some example. If we send a email to a customer, can we meet at 7 p.m.? What does 7 p.m. mean? Is it customer's time zone? Is it our time zone? What is it? So instead of that, being proactive, thinking what the customer will want to know, what the other person will want to know. So being proactive, if you are not attending the meeting in time, if you are having some problems, if you are coming and having an issue, then proactively telling the customer on the not on the last day, but well before in advance, so that the course correction can happen. That is few examples on proactiveness. They have to be nurtured, thought, and empathy has to be there. Okay, Pooja. Then the third is from Harshali. Is product engineering mindset applicable and useful to the companies who are product focused one? Yes. Product engineering mindset is applicable to any software development in this company, be it a product company, be it a solutions company, be it a services company. Because it is a concept, it is a mindset. It is not necessarily product companies have their own customers, services companies have their own customers. So it is applicable everywhere. Okay. Then the next question is from Rahul. I would want to know about the difference between product management and product engineering mindset. Good question. So, what is product management? Product management is about thinking of the features of the product, coming up with features and coming up with the specifications of product. What does product engineering mindset is? Product engineering mindset is much more above product mindset. It is product mindset plus execution of it, delivery of it, continuously innovating it. So it is product mindset is a part of a product engineer. As I mentioned in my first slide, product mindset plus engineering mindset makes it product development mindset. Okay, then the next question is from Sanjeev. In your experience of inculcating engineering mindset, how difficult or easy it has been to mentor your team members to get aligned to this mindset? Okay, so uh, it is a not a simple answer. It has mixed bag of answers. So some people, it is easy to inculcate engineering mindset, the product engineering mindset. In some people, they learn it over the period of time by some learnings in the period of time. So it is that if a person, as they rightly say, a wise person is he who learns by the mistakes of others. So being wise, being having this mindset in action, in the deeds, is very easy, but it is not difficult or easy. It is a mixed bag, if I want to answer this question. And one more question from Sagar. uh, what is relationship and difference between product, software, and application? Does the affect does that affect the mindset while making it? Product, software, and as I mentioned, that if the programmer mindset and the software engineering mindset. So software engineering mindset is much more, it encompasses the holistic aspects of it, and so on and so forth. So software is just a means of creating the product. Application is the output. Product is a big concept. It has to be a holistic thought process. Software is a means. So this mindset will make the output, which is the product, more effective, more efficient. This is what the output of this mindset is. I think these were all the questions. Any more questions, or then? Okay. I would like to thank everyone to attend this event. And if there are any further questions, you can reach me anytime on Netor Infotech's marketing site. As well as if there are any further questions, please reach out to marketing@netorinfotech.com. Thank you for attending this session. Thank you.